Can you instantly recognize a watch by just its crown? I mean, when you look at this crown, for example, and if you are a watch enthusiast, you will know that this is the Cartier Tank. A month ago, I spent an hour talking to these guys over the phone to understand the idea and process behind their first watch, but only when I was convinced that it would be worth the collaboration that I said yes, and I guess we were the first to showcase this watch on Instagram. It was well received by the audience. Is this a good watch? Yes. Are there shortcomings? Well, yes. So this arrived a month ago. Namaste, everybody, and welcome back to TikTok Treasures. From now on, when you see the orange on the crown, it will be Pico 42. In this video, I will share my honest thoughts and opinions about this watch after having used it for almost a month. I will talk about the pros, I will talk about the cons, and know that some of these opinions are absolute in that they could match everyone's taste and requirement when it comes to paying a certain price for a watch, but at the same time, some opinions are my own based on my likes and my dislikes, about which some of you could feel differently. I understand as a watch enthusiast, it can be tricky trusting a new brand right away, but the trick is to always look for green and red flags before you make or do not make a purchase. Green flag number one, they have a website whose copy is professionally written with no grammatical or spelling errors, and it is very responsive and user-friendly and exudes passion about their work. Even some well-established brands do not have this kind of commitment for a website. Green flag number two, they have doxed themselves and are not hiding behind curtains, and that for me is a major green flag, at least for a first watch of a new brand. Green flag number three, I think this is the Boy Scouts promise. They were out in the open with a pop-up in the real world, getting feedback from real people. That shows passion and commitment. This watch, according to the founders Kanishk and PG, is made for momentum. The engraving on the back, time is weird, and this watch gets it, is about straying away from the straightforward, basic, and playing it safe watch designs. If you want to hear from the founders directly, you can check out their responses during the AMA session we hosted on Reddit a while back. The link to this post will be in the description. Some real questions asked by the TikTok Treasures community members. I'm proud of both parties. The case is 316L stainless steel that is a mix of polished and brushed. I'm personally not a fan of polished finishing because scratches like these show up within days. But if you are someone who wears scratches and scuffs with pride, then it shouldn't be a bother. The fine brushing on the lugs and on the sides looks good and silky. Good machine work. The case dimensions are sweet. This 38mm case diameter helps Pico's case because the 38 to 40 mm, especially for male Indian wrists, is in demand and is perfect, and the 38 mm also sets it up as a unisex watch. On my 6.8-inch wrist, it rests flat despite having a less pronounced curvature of the lugs, and that's thanks to the relatively thin profile. The crown on the Pico 42 stands out, and it has been the main topic of discussion ever since this hit the market. Now, this is a push-pull crown with decent knurling, and it is not too big that I have to literally use the tips of my fingers to operate, but it's not a deal breaker as it's a quartz watch and you will probably only use this crown once in 2 months. The crown, well, the whole watch won't go unnoticed thanks to the pop of glossy orange on the crown. I love distinguishing elements on a watch no matter how small. You can take any simple watch and add a bit of quirk and it becomes an instant conversation starter. The crystal is domed sapphire, which makes this scratch proof, which is a good thing, but this is highly reflective. I did find it troublesome troublesome to see the dial when I was outdoors. I'm hoping they will consider some anti-reflective treatment on the Sapphire for future releases without bumping up the price too much. The case back is very simple. It has the engraving of a quote that subtly hints at this watch being unconventional in design, especially for brand's first watch, although for future models, I would expect some sort of embossing. Most of you know by now how much I appreciate a good artwork on the case back that I can feel with my fingertips. Now, considering the price of this watch, the dial can't have been simple. Hence, this is a 3-layered dial which may not have the kind of appeal that many watch enthusiasts have come to expect from those clean, crisp and minimalistic designs. It is practical, no doubt. The white applied arm markers stand out against the darker dial. Since Piko has a logo, I would have preferred that at the 12 o'clock position with a smaller font for Piko. This reflective ring, along with the sunburst of the dial, makes this dial more interesting. The hands are basic sword hands that do the main job of telling time, but on this one, the seconds hand does not hit the markers, which is not a deal breaker unless you have OCD. The seconds hand needed some sort of pop, at least on the tip, maybe the same orange of the crown. The lume on the arm markers and hands glows orange in keeping with the theme of the watch, which just about does a decent job, but it is not the best in the business. For the price, I know people will expect at least Superluminova BGW9. I expect the same as well. The Piko 42 is powered by Japanese Miyota 2035 quartz caliber. I will be honest with you, I didn't really test this watch for accuracy, but every time I pick this watch to wear on some days of the week over the last 4 weeks, this has shown the right time without the need to adjust. This comes with 3-year battery life, which is about decent for the price. Piko 42 is water resistant up to 50 meters, which is good for daily wear, but I wish this detail was mentioned on the dial at the 6 o'clock. Alright, let's call spade a spade. This is a super premium silicone strap that's the quick release kind. It's meaty, it's bendable without worry of snapping, and it's tapered. It is labeled as sweat resistant, which is what silicone material is supposed to be anyway. I love the texture on this, that it makes it exciting and comfortable on the wrist, and the buckle is 316L stainless steel with branding to match the brushing of the case. This is as premium as they come for the price. I have worn this Piko 42 on most days in the last month, and on most days I've had this on me for the whole day, and if I must sum it up in one line, it's a comfortable light watch with the perfect size for my wrist that has a practical dial, albeit with a very reflective crystal that can be troublesome at times, especially outdoors. The pros of the Piko 42 outweigh the cons, no doubt, and if you are looking for a daily wear, sporty looking analog watch, this could be your thing. This could be your watch if you're looking for one that is quirky to some extent, tells time, is a conversation starter, is fashionable, is durable, and is comfortable. I personally like this Rainforest Eclipse, the green one, more than the other two, and based on the comments I have read on the internet, this seems to be the popular one. Piko 42 retails at Rs 6,042. Interesting pricing to match the model name, but you can run into some surprise discounts when you visit the website. You get 1-year warranty on the movement. I will leave the links in the description if this Piko 42 has piqued your interest. Overall, Piko 42 is a watch that is ideal for daily wear, especially if you're looking for something casual to slap on your wrist and go on about your day. Thank you for watching. I shall see you in the comment section. Until next time, stay tuned and stay classy.